Give me a second. There's a lot of moves here. Okay, black is the one who sent in the game. His name is Matthew ABC123, and white is Dmitry Leb. They're both rated in the 1400s, and the time control was 10 minutes. And it's chess.com. Okay, well, since our hero has the black pieces, we'll switch and so forth. Hype train level 6. So that's from yesterday. They're always doing that. I always have to refresh. Yay, I refreshed. No hype train at all. Okay, so okay, so black is our hero. Okay, it's a French. E takes d5 is not a good move. If you're gonna play e takes d5, you should play d4 on move 2. Okay, c3, d4. Now it's an exchange French, except white is black and black is white. Very suspicious. So c3 is dubious. c3 is okay. I got no problem with c3. Bishop's probably more active on d6 than e7. Okay, so this is like what I like to call wood pushers. These are people who know the rules of chess and play legal moves. It's possible if they were playing over the board, they would play illegal moves. But when you're playing online, you can't. So I can't prove that they make legal moves every move. It could be black tried to play knight e4 like 5 times and then gave up. I don't know. Okay, but these moves don't make any sense. They're just random legal moves. Like this move's legal, this move's legal. So the game is always about equal until they start blundering. Okay, and they'll start pretty soon. They don't want to keep you in suspense very long. Okay, but it's hard to comment on the moves because just like both sides are like, what's the most passive move? Then they play it. Yeah, like that. Like I could move my bishop, but then my bishop would move out from where it was, so I'll block my bishop, so I don't do that. Now, if black had his druthers, and possibly he tried to do this, I don't know, he'd probably want to play bishop c8. And maybe he tried to play bishop c8 like I'm trying. I'm surprised I can't do it. I'm a grandmaster. And, you know, he couldn't do it. He didn't know why. So he tried to find like a more passive move, but he couldn't. Okay, c5. Yeah, if you play c5, you want your knight on c6. dc, bishop c5. Knight d4. That's a strange move. Most people would play knight b3 and this knight to d4. All right, so all the moves are legal. Yeah, giving up your bishop doesn't make a lot of sense. You should play bishop d6. I mean, I'd probably take with the knight. Yeah, that's what the engine does. Yeah, queen f8. That sort of helps my argument that black probably tried to play bishop c8 over his knight. Black is like, what's the most passive move I can play? And then he found it. So that was good. I couldn't find such a passive move. Okay, h3, also passive. Knight c5 is too aggressive. The engine doesn't like it. All right, and b4 is just, you know, again, they're wood pushers. They just make legal moves. That move doesn't make any sense because it weakens this pawn terribly and makes it a backward pawn, and it looks like black is just going to go take it now. So b4 is just terrible move. Knight e4 is good. Bishop d2. Again, white asked what's the most passive move, and he found it. That's good. Okay, so instead of taking here and winning a pawn, Black took here, which should also win a pawn after knight e4. So that's okay. Okay, this loses another pawn because I can play rook takes. Then this pawn's not defended. So he played knight takes, which is a mistake. Okay, rook c1 just hangs the b pawn. He probably didn't see the queen because it was so far away. So, like, this is a long move. And it defends the knight. But black saw it. That's why black is our hero. Okay, and then this position, black blundered with queen e4, which allows queen takes queen and knight e7 check. Let's see if white found that. And then in this position, if you play pawn takes, you lose the exchange. Knight check, knight takes, rook takes. If you play knight takes, then you lose a whole rook. So black played knight takes. Okay, so white's up a rook. Never play f3. He gives up a piece, but he's still winning. It's still silly to give up a piece. All right, now I have good news and bad news. And the good news is there's no good news. The bad news is there's 85 moves left in this game. So we're on move 35. We're going to look at 85 more moves. True story. Okay, so let's... If there's no blunders, we'll just go quickly. F4 just hangs the pawn with check. So that's not a good move. And black didn't take it. Guess black's better now. I mean, it's a draw, but... Wow, somehow white lost all of his pawns. Good technique. The engine says everything is all zeros. It doesn't matter what anybody does. It's all zeros. Is this still all zeros? Yeah. That hangs the rook, knight f3 check. So now black's winning. And black played here defending his pawn. Unfortunate. Then black gave up his h3 pawn for some reason. Then give up his h5 pawn. Still, it's a draw. Only 20 more moves to go. Still a draw. Okay, this is my favorite move of the game. King g3. I mean, the players had no time here. It was a 10-minute game, so maybe he pre-moved. King h2. Wow. He's making sure his king and rook never get forked. I'm not sure who's playing for a win. Okay, and that's the 120th move, and black lost on time. So I hope you guys learned something. No, black lost on time. Yes, rook versus knight is a draw. No, black didn't win. Black was the one who submitted the game. That's right, quadruple digit at last. You learned to take up bridge during that game? No, it wasn't Bughouse. So that was the longest game that was submitted. That game has more moves than all the other games added up, except for one thing. Yeah, it's too bad black didn't play knight check and take the rook. Then black wouldn't have lost, because white would have nothing left. I think on chess.com, if white loses on time, then it's a draw. And I think on lead chess, black wins. Because you can mate with a knight against a rook. See, can I move? I can. That's how the game would have ended if black didn't lose on time. Yeah, USCF and FIDE have different rules. That's correct. Well, I think the Niners will win. They're a better team and they're playing at home.